Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight is from Guinness. It is this one. It is the cold brew coffee beer. And in continuing the winter warmers tonight, I like dark beers in the cold, damp, dismal January weather that we have, so this one's coming out. I love coffee, I love stout. They are flavours that go well together. So giving it a try. It's been a while that it's been out now on the market, but I thought it's time we give it a bash. So it's a 4% beer. You get 4 of them in a pack for £5 or £6 in Tesco, something like that. It's not a huge amount I can tell you about the beer, really, other than it's Guinness and coffee. And that the wife didn't like it. I bought for her primarily because she wanted to try it. So I thought I'd give it a go. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass. It is a nitro beer, so we're going to pour it all into my Guinness glass carefully because it's lively. Look at that, look at it. It's only a 440, but with the amount of head and the surge, you do need a good pint glass. And just look at it go as it settles. It's got that classic Guinness look going on. It does everything that a good Guinness should do. So yeah, it looks good, and you can't tell through the powers of YouTube that it smells big time of coffee as it's pouring. And it still does. It's a sweet coffee. It's like a latte. Milky, sweet, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of... It's like Mellow Birds back in the day. Anyone who remembers Mellow Birds, they'll know exactly what I mean by that. So, it looks good, as all pints of Guinness do. It smells like a good coffee. See what it tastes like. Cheers. Tastes like I expected. It tastes like Guinness and coffee, which is a good thing, I guess, because it is Guinness with coffee. Body is decent. It's a typical pint of Guinness. Texture, smooth in the mouth, silky, creamy. And obviously the nitro head does help in a big, big way on that one. And yeah, super silky, soft in the mouth. Carbonation is so subtle, it's almost not there. And then you just get coffee. And it's described on the can as caramel and chocolate and coffee. And I get what they're saying. There is a sweetness that can be likened to caramel. Chocolate you get through the malt profile in the Guinness anyway. So again, that's kind of expected. And the coffee it's ever present. It reminds me in a way of the old coffee cream chocolates you used to get in Pot of Quality Street that you don't get anymore, and that really knocks me off because I love them. And yeah, this is pretty decent. Sweet, balanced, little bit of bitterness on the back end, and not as dry a finish as a normal pint of Guinness has, which is odd. It's all right. It's all right. So let's go to the scoreboards of joy that say Guinness cold brew coffee has had a pretty decent 25,800 check-ins and an average 3.52. Pretty good. 6 people I've tried it. The average is down at 2.5, just over. And I did have a little read, which I don't always do, of Untapped and see. And they are skewed. There's a couple of reviews of those from those 6 people who really don't like it. They described it as watery and thin and not their cup of tea at all. So averages out a little bit higher than that. So my current scoreboard of joy for the cold brewed coffee is empty. Let's give it some points. Can't top it off, but we can still appreciate the lovely look. You've got the classic Guinness look. Deep mahogany brown, tight nitro white head. it looks like it should. Therefore, it has a point. The aroma is one. If you love coffee, you're going to love it. If you don't, you're going to hate it. It is a smooth, milky coffee. Like I say, latte. There's a little sweetness of almost like a vanilla caramel, almost like a toffee. And I like it. But is it a one-trick pony? Does the coffee come out too much and override the Guinness? A little, I think. I want a little bit more of the Guinness about it. Just a little. And I'm splitting hairs here. So I'm going to give it the 0.75. I just want more of the Guinness because it's overriding coffee. It's just like having a caramel latte from Starbucks. You know, the little bottles that you can get in the fridges in Tesco's. Exactly what it smells like to me. The body, it's typical Guinness. Can't fault it. It's not thin and watery. I don't know if you had a bad can. People on Untapped who I've seen who've reviewed it and said it was thin and watery. It's not thin and watery compared to double cream. It is, of course, but it's typical of a pint of Guinness to me. Silky smooth, good carbonation. I can't fault the body. I'm giving it a point. And the taste, again, if you like mild coffee, you're going to like it. Yeah, coffee, little hint of caramel, the chocolatey malt coming through, sweetness with a little bit of bitterness on the back end. It's okay. It needs more though, because the coffee it's the one trick pony here, and this is the issue I do have. I want a little better balance on that front. It's a bit too much on the coffee side, so I'm going to give it the 0.5. I want more Guinness. If I'm going for Guinness, I want Guinness. Dial it back by about 50%, and that's where we'd be. And the finish. One of the best things about a pint of Guinness is that smooth, creamy, malty finish. And you got some of that, and you've got a bit of coffee going on as well. It needs more Guinness. So yeah, again, that's what it needs. It's what it needs. So I'm going to give it 0.5, which means we have got 3.75 out of 5 for the Guinness Cold Brew, which isn't as good as I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a little bit better. But again, it's just coffee balance is the problem for me. It just needs a little bit less. You know, a good stout has coffee notes running through it, like a vein through marble. You just want that hint, just a little something, just a little touch. And this has gone full coffee. Never go full coffee, unless of course you're having coffee. Anyway, bonus points. It can't have the full bonus because it didn't get a full 5 out of 5. Buy it again. Difficult question. Probably not. See, it's inoffensive, but like I said, if I want a Guinness stout, I'm going to go for a Guinness stout. If I want coffee or coffee flavoured beers, I'm going to go for something that's a little bit less coffee-like in my beer. So no, I'm not going to buy it again. I don't often say that, but we are where we are with this one. Value for money. If you like it, £6 for 4 cans. I think it was £6 anyway. Isn't bad. You know, it's not bad. Or is it a £5 or whatever? £1.50 a can, a little bit less. Can't complain. £1.25. It's not bad value. Let's put it that way. If you like it, which I don't dislike it. I just prefer regular Guinness. So yeah, cold brew coffee beer from Guinness has got 3.75 out of 5 with a value for money, just for good measure. So there we are, ladies and gents, boys and girls. We've come to the end of Sunday. I've got a pile of shame to go and paint, and if you don't know what I mean, see that dreadnought behind my shoulders somewhere over there? Warhammer stuff. I'm going to go and build some models, paint them up, and do something while I sip this beer. We're going to leave it there and say, that has been the beer, I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye.